Hey everybody, Allie Bloyd here. I am going to wait just a minute to get started. I'm going to give people a few minutes to hop on, but I wanted to just welcome you to this training. I'm Allie, I own Allie Bloyd Media, and I have really specialized in helping home improvement businesses, specifically home improvement retailers, do a better job of marketing their business online, of helping them generate really high value appointments consistently and generating more in sales. So this training today, I hope it's going to make a really big impact in your business. That is the goal. I've been on a ton of webinars before, and by the end of them, I'm thinking, did I just waste my time? I literally knew everything they just told me, and in the end, they were just trying to sell me something. And that's not what this webinar is going to be about today. I am going to show you so many different things you can use in your business. So close out of everything else. Take out a notebook. You're definitely going to want to take some notes on this. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump in. There is a chat box to the right, but I may not be able to answer questions during the training. So if you do have a question, go ahead and type it in, but be specific about what you're referencing, because I may have to wait until the end of the training to actually get around to it. So let's go ahead and get started. This is Home Improvement Retail Marketing Secrets. This could be for a home improvement business like a contractor. A lot of these strategies work. But what's different about home improvement retailers or kitchen and bath businesses is the fact that you're really a hybrid business. You are a product-based business and a service-based business at the same time, typically. And you're not e-commerce. I mean, maybe part of your business is e-commerce, but typically not all of it. And so people are teaching these strategies on how to market e-commerce businesses, but you're like, how can I use that? That's not really my business model. You could have someone teaching you how to market a service-based business, but that's not your complete model either. So you really need this mix of product and service in your marketing. And that's where I've really seen a lot of retailers or home improvement businesses that sell products struggle. Then they just kind of flounder around. They don't really have a strategy or a plan. They're not sure what they're doing or if what they're doing is actually working, which means that you're probably wasting a lot of your marketing budget. That is my clients' number one fear. Everyone that I work with, they don't want to waste their budget. You know, this is your money. This is your business. And you want to make sure that what you put in is actually getting out a greater investment. That is the goal of marketing. This is not an expense. This is an investment to get a greater return. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So these are 3 proven methods any home improvement retailer can use to generate more high value kitchen and bath appointments, or flooring or windows or really whatever. Kitchen and bath, I've seen a huge success with that, but it depends on what you sell. And you're going to be able to sell more products and stand out online without wasting time or precious advertising dollars. So a lot of people I've talked with, they have tried online marketing in the past and they have failed, and it really has discouraged them from getting back out there. It's not that these tools or platforms don't work. It's that you didn't know how to use them correctly, or you were working with someone who didn't know how to use them correctly for your business. So one really big challenge for businesses like yours is these large retail big box stores. I'm sure you know they are generating a huge percentage of all the sales in this industry. They have millions and millions of dollars in their advertising budget. They don't even have to do much and people will come because they know their name. You have a different challenge. You have to stand out against someone like that. And even besides big box stores, competition has grown really heavily in this industry. You see new people popping up all the time. Sometimes it's just a guy on the street who wants to sell something and acts like a big retail company or whatever it is. There is competition, and you have to present yourself in a way that will make people remember you when they are ready for their next project. These are large sales. You don't need a ton of sales to make this worthwhile, but what I'm going to show you will help you get a lot of sales. So it's going to make it something that will not only sustain you, but really help you thrive. Online marketing is not going anywhere, so you really need to embrace it or you are going to be left behind. So some of the things that you're up against: completely e-commerce stores like Build.com, Wayfair.com, Click Studios. I mean, you can get a new kitchen online these days. So you have to show people why you are the better choice. If I can sit in my home and get one of these projects done completely online, you're really going to have to convince me that this is something that that is better when I have this in-person, face-to-face connection. Like I mentioned, big box stores, usually they're getting about 1 in 3 projects purchased and installed. Complex technology in advertising, especially. So much is changing. A lot of what I'm going to show you today is focused around Facebook ads, and it is not the most straightforward. This is where a lot of people struggle. They think it is too much for me to handle. I am not a tech person. I'm not tech friendly, and they just give up. But you can't give up, because giving up on this is giving up on the future of your business. So I want you to really have a mindset shift around the types of marketing that you're doing. The rising cost of traditional advertising is a big issue as well. I work with a lot of people who do TV advertising or radio or print or things like that. And while there's still a place for that, I still do a lot of it. I so firmly believe in digital advertising because I'm able to get a much lower cost per lead, a lower cost per acquisition per client, and I can actually see the results. That's the best part. So many of these mediums have decreased in their effectiveness over the years, but they have not decreased in cost. They've actually increased in cost, which is really counterintuitive, but it's the truth. They need to make more money, so they charge you more, even though they are reaching less people than ever before. So being able to learn what you need to do on the digital side will help you combat that. Some businesses like only dealing with traditional media because they can give someone their money, they handle it from there. It's really hands-off at that point, which it can be the same way for digital, but what those media people are not showing you is how many people came in the door from this, how many people actually purchased because of this. It is very rare that you're ever going to be able to close that loop with traditional advertising, and it's something you can much more easily do with digital. So my goal is to help you get more leads. It's to help you get more sales. Maybe your sales are okay, but you just want to grow quicker, or you want to see a stronger year-over-year increase. Every business I know, that's what they're hoping for. They don't want to have the same sales next year that they did this year. They want to grow, and they're just not really sure how to do that. So these are strategies you can actually use to sell products in your physical brick and mortar store, or to sell your services, your installation services, whatever type of home improvement you're doing, you can tweak what I'm going to show you to make it work for you. So we are going to learn exactly what works. I have been doing this for a long time, and I'm not going to show you theory. That's what a lot of people are doing. I'm going to show you what has actually worked. I'm not going to show you what hasn't worked, because you don't need to know that. I've gone through so much trial and error. And just a quick background, I have been around remodeling and home improvement since I was about 10 years old. My parents were in real estate investing, so my first job was helping them fix up their properties. I would paint, I'd do demo, mow the yards, whatever. I really loved it. I still love it to this day. And it's one reason why it's been such a great fit for me to be in the home improvement industry within my marketing field. So I have a degree in design. I have been in marketing and advertising for about 8 years, and 5 of those years I was the marketing director for 7- and 8-figure home improvement companies. One of them was a retailer. I got so much experience. They basically gave me free rein to do whatever I wanted to do to see what would work. And that's something that not everyone gets the opportunity to do. I had a lot of dollars at my disposal. And I was able to test things. I was able to really let my creativity run wild. I didn't have someone breathing down my neck telling me, this is not the way that we've done it in the past. That's one of the biggest phrases you should never use, because just because you've done something a certain way in the past doesn't mean it's the best way to do it moving forward. So I have been able to create strategies that have generated 7 figures in sales and have been very, very successful in bringing in leads and bringing in actual revenue, which is all you really care about at the end of the day. So one thing that you really need to focus on is making sure that your sales team is following up with the leads that you're going to generate. I just want to say that right off the bat, because a lot of businesses, they say, I want these leads. I want to generate more. But when it comes down to it, no one is on the other end following up. And then they lose the lead and they feel like for some reason their marketing has failed. So The job of marketing is to bring in the lead, and the job of sales is to close the lead. If you have a strictly e-commerce business, then basically marketing and sales are one. But in a business like yours, there is another person involved in this. So before you really say, I am going to do this for my business, make sure that you have a good sales team, or that your sales team can be trained to simply pick up the phone and call these people really quickly, because it's very, very important. So like I said, I was the marketing director for a large home improvement retail company. I tried a lot of different online techniques. I had some really huge successes. I had a few fails, but in the end, I came up with something that consistently generates leads day after day. I never really have to worry about it. I mean, I'm always constantly doing things for my clients to improve, because it's not really a set it and forget it kind of thing, but the overall strategy is the same, and I know it's going to work. And so there's very little pressure. The sales team, the designers know that the leads are coming in. They need to focus on closing those and delivering from there. So back a couple of years ago, we had just started getting involved really heavily in Facebook. Things were going great. And then organic reach completely dropped. And that was a pretty big deal. You could no longer really reach the people that you had liking your page. And we had, 25, 30,000 people, something like that on our page. And not being able to reach those people was a major hit. And that's kind of the reason that I started really going into the paid advertising section of this, because I realized that you cannot rely on organic traffic. If you want to do that, you are at the mercy of these platforms. They change one thing, and everything that you've built is no longer relevant. You have to be able to know how to drive traffic using money so that you're always in control. Even if the platform changes, the strategy should remain the same. It's very consistent over a lot of these. There's a few differences, but once you understand what you need to do to get people to your website, to your funnel, to your landing page, and then get them to take that next step, it's going to translate in pretty much all of your marketing mediums. So this took me a little while to figure out, but I was able to do it. I had a lot of success doing it. I have created a very strong education-based marketing system, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. I feel like it's the best thing you can do for your clients and for your business. And some people might feel like it's a little bit more work than just saying, here's my sale, come buy my products, or sign up for my estimate. But it's going to be much more sustainable, and you're actually going to build stronger trust with your buyers in the process, so that you have to sell them less once they actually get to you. You don't have to convince them as much that you're the right choice, because a lot of this education is going to do that for them. So after working in marketing and advertising for so long and with this industry, I started my own agency. I work with a lot of different businesses, but home improvement is my focus because I have so much knowledge about it. I have so many examples of what works already. So it's a very natural fit for me. And I'm thrilled that I'm able to do it. And I'm just excited that I'm able to show you this today. So if you're on this training, my guess is that you are struggling in some way with marketing, and probably online. If that's the case, you are not unlike the majority of home improvement businesses in this country. We all have our thing, and your thing is why you started your business. It's home improvement, or it's retail. It's not necessarily marketing. So you're going to have to constantly be able to open yourself up to learn new things that you may not love to do, but that you need to have an understanding of in order to move your business forward. Even if you're not the person who is doing this marketing and actually implementing it, you need to know what works and what doesn't. Because if you don't, someone is going to take your money, they're going to start doing things with it, and you have no idea if it's actually going to generate a result, and then your money will be lost, which is the worst thing that can happen. So you need to make a change now. As I mentioned, digital is not going anywhere. It's actually going to get harder and harder as time goes on. Platforms like Facebook, they actually favor businesses that have been on their advertising platform for longer. They want people who have built a long-standing relationship with them. So if you're not using it, you need to start using it now, even on a small scale. Otherwise, you will have a much more uphill battle in the future. The good thing is every day you wait or every day you don't wait and you just get started, you are moving yourself forward in one way, even if you feel like you're not really seeing the results that you want to. So we are going to go ahead and, get started, and I'm going to show you these proven online advertising and a few in-person advertising methods that you can really use for your business. So quick little success story. One retailer that I worked with, they didn't really have an online presence. A lot of people say, well, I've got like 200 people that like my Facebook page. I feel like it's going to be really difficult to see a huge success from that. As I mentioned today, how many people like your page doesn't even actually matter. It does only in terms of people are, they want to have this vanity metric like, oh, I have 100,000 people that like my page. And sometimes people will look at that and it gives you credibility. But other than that, there's no real value to it. But anyways, we started with basically nothing. I have used these strategies to grow their audience by tens of thousands of people, to grow their leads by thousands and thousands per year, to help grow their sales by 7 figures, and for them to be known as a top information company and an expert in their field. Again, that is one of the most valuable things you can do long term, because it will position you in a way that makes people remember you, that makes someone say, you know what? That company actually went out of their way to help me. So the next time I have a project to do, they're going to be the one that I turn to. So they used to be fully traditional marketing. They've shifted a huge percentage of their budget to digital. So they still do both. Like I said, there's a place for both. But if you're not seriously investing in digital, then you're missing out a lot. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my Facebook marketing strategy that generated 526 kitchen and bath remodeling appointments, not just someone sending their email. These are people who are signing up to come in less than 3 months. And so far, it's had a 26-time return on investment. So the good thing about these leads is that they are not just here today, gone tomorrow. You could get leads and appointments that you think, oh, well, it didn't pan out. They haven't purchased yet. These are good for up to a year, sometimes longer than a year. Because, think about your current buying cycle. People are not always ready today to get started. It's a big investment. They need to trust you. They need to know what they want. They need to have their finances in order. And it's just kind of a more sensitive investment than a lot of businesses deal with. So you have to be willing to give them time. The best thing that you can do, which we'll talk about later, is have a really strong long-term follow-up to nurture them and not lose that lead. So the second thing we'll talk about is using education to drive sales, how simply becoming an industry expert can generate multiple 6 figures for you this year. And then the proven systems you need to streamline your marketing that's going to save you time, save you money, save you stress, and help you get results quicker, regardless of if you have a huge in-house marketing team. All right, secret number 1. This is the biggest chunk of the training. This is going to give you a ton of information. So like I said, have your notebook out and ready. A lot of home improvement retailers and just home improvement businesses that I speak with, they say, I don't know how Facebook will work for me, or aren't Facebook leads really, really expensive? And I say, well, they're really expensive if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, they're extremely affordable and they're extremely reliable. So one retailer I worked with, they had tried it in the past and they didn't see results. And again, it wasn't that the Facebook ads weren't working. It's that they considered a Facebook ad just clicking the boost post button on their page. And that is a small fraction of everything that I do on Facebook. There can still be a time for it, but that's not what you need to be doing. So of course they're not seeing real results, because the only result you're going to see is somebody liking your post. Otherwise, there's no way to track if that person came in your store or purchased anything. So again, they lost faith. They didn't think it was going to work, and they were never going to do it again until I was able to show them what actually does work and how it could work for their business. So now they have put almost 100% of their money into online advertising. They were very, very heavy in TV and radio, and they've basically cut that all and they've put it all into online marketing. And that's just to show you the power. This is a business that's doing over $10 million a year. They're very successful and they have seen true results from doing this. This is the Facebook ad formula breakdown. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible because, again, it does have a lot of pieces to it, but these are the 4 things that you need to see success on Facebook: the right audience, the right content, the right follow-up, and the right tools. So we're going to go through each one of these and I'm going to show you what has worked for me in the past. So the right audience is crucial. You will never sell your product to someone who doesn't own a home. So I would consider them the wrong audience. If you are not doing a good job of targeting people, you're not going to see results. It doesn't matter how good your offer is. It doesn't matter how good your product is, or even how good your ad is. So that's something that you have to be aware of. You need to take audience research very seriously because it is the starting point of successful advertising. So we are going to talk about saved audiences. This is interest and demographic targeting to find the audience in your area. We're going to look at custom audiences that are going to help you reach the best buyers and prospects and to mop up those sales that you may have missed out on. And then we're going to talk about lookalike audiences that are going to help you find exact copies of your ideal customer. So this is an example of a funnel on the right side. That's the buying process for most people. You can make it, with additional steps in between, but this is really the simplified version. Awareness. People have to know who you are. They have to have an interest in the product or service. Then they start to make a decision and then they take action. Your goal with Facebook ads is to follow this funnel. You need to reach people at every single stage of their buying decision. You need ads that are built to raise awareness, ads that are built to increase interest, ads that are built to help them make a decision, and ads that are built to help them take action. And the best thing that you can do is follow the same person from the awareness stage all the way down to the action stage. And then you've been with them every step of the way. And I can tell you a lot of businesses aren't doing that, so you will stand out. So this is the traffic temperatures. This is something most people have either never heard of or they don't actually use it in their business. Cold traffic. This is going to be someone who is at the top of the funnel. They don't know you. They don't know who you are. Maybe they've never heard about your business. They've never interacted with you in any way. These things, cold traffic has to be marketed to in a very different way. These are social posts that are not asking for anything. It can be an educational video, a quiz, a blog post, something that anyone could have interest in. Then you're going to have warm traffic, and that's someone who is familiar with you. So this could be someone who has been on your website before, but they've never purchased anything, someone who is engaged with your social media ads, someone who has watched one of your videos. And those people, they can get offers and sales and promotions and additional engaging content. So they could be in the interest stage of the funnel potentially. So what you want to do is try and heighten their interest by showing them things that really get them excited about the projects that they can do and show them that you have that solution so they can begin to be in that decision-making stage. Hot traffic is somebody that knows you well. So this is going to be a past customer potentially. It could be someone who has made an appointment with you in the past. Maybe they didn't show up. Maybe they've registered for one of your events. This is someone that you can do cross sells or upsells or retargeting to. So warm and hot traffic can get a lot of the same content. Cold traffic gets very different content. And most people are sending out one blanket ad to all of these people, and you just can't do that. When you're sending all of your ads to cold traffic, you are going to have high cost per lead, high cost per acquisition, high cost per engagement. Those are some of the 3 critical methods or numbers that I look at when I'm determining if something's successful. And of course it's going to be high. These people don't know you and you're just asking them to buy something. So please don't do that. Make sure that you're segmenting your audiences by these traffic temperatures and that you're actually thinking about the content that you put out within those traffic temperatures. So these are saved audiences. This is cold traffic. These are people that I am targeting based on their interest and their demographics. not based on any past interaction that they've had with me. So this is something that you just set up in Facebook. You could be a brand new advertiser, and this is what you're going to set up. So this is a lot of interest targeting. I am obviously going to target people within a certain range close to the business location. You're a local business, I assume. You're going to want to do the same thing. Sometimes you can do male or female. You can do an age range. It really depends. I have sometimes hundreds of audiences in different advertiser accounts, and that's because I like to test a lot. I want to see what happens. I don't want to assume that I know what someone's going to want. So a lot of your customers, I'm going to assume, are very heavily female. I know most of the businesses I've worked with in the home improvement field, it's about 75% female customers. You could lower your cost per lead and cost per acquisition by only advertising to females. You can have some very specific ads to men, but at the end of the day, the women they're coming more in flocks, I will say, than the men do. Even, a man and a woman are married. Typically, the woman is the one who is seeking out having this project done. So this has been a pretty successful cold traffic audience for me. I'm doing things like people who like IKEA, people who like Joanna Gaines, different shows on HGTV. You can tell a lot about someone by the TV shows they watch, the books they read, the events they go to, the podcasts they listen to. That tells you what someone is interested in. In the past, it was much easier to reach cold audiences in the home improvement field. Facebook actually had homeowner as a demographic. Okay, they no longer have that. It used to have likely to move or looking to buy a house or first-time homeowner. These were really strong for home improvement and real estate. I honestly never really relied upon them that heavily, so it hasn't impacted me that much. But in the last just few months, they're gone. People in this industry are kind of freaking out about it, at least the ones who are already doing Facebook ads. But you have to realize that you cannot rely on one or two things. There are so many other aspects that can tell you if somebody is a homeowner, if somebody has a house that's worth a certain amount of money, places they visit, places they shop. I also like to do really targeted geographic ads. I'll do certain neighborhoods. So the lowest you can do is a 1 mile radius, which is pretty low, depending on the size of the neighborhood. But if these neighborhoods are worth a lot of money, A, you're reaching mostly homeowners, and B, they're people who have money to do these projects. So you just have to get smart. You have to target zip codes, you have to target neighborhoods, and you have to really think about who is my customer. Looking in your Facebook audience insights can also give you a lot of good tips. But again, this is going to be cold traffic, saved audiences. Okay. When you have an email list, when you have a customer list, those are going to be things that you're going to use to build a custom audience because they are customized to your business. This is going to be your warm and your hot traffic. It's also someone who has been to your website. So having the Facebook pixel installed on your website is literally the most important thing before you get started on doing this. So what you're going to do is you're going to have website traffic audience. I usually have very specific categories. So if you have if you sell different categories of things, you're going to have those pages set up on their own. People who've shopped for kitchen cabinets, people who've shopped for countertops, people who've shopped for flooring, people who've shopped for windows, because you don't want to send a kitchen ad to someone who just shopped for windows. It doesn't make sense. And if you're just sending out an ad to everyone, you're not matching yourself up with what your customers are looking for. And that's the biggest reason that businesses fail in doing things like this, is thinking that it's a one size fits all, like TV. It's not. You can get specific. You can say, this person wants this product. What offer can I send them to encourage them to take that next step? Then you're also going to have lookalike audiences. This is still cold traffic, okay? But what it's doing is, let's take, for example, your purchasing customers email list. You can take that audience and you can say, hey, Facebook, make me a list of people who look just like these people, who have very similar demographics. I mean, Facebook knows so much about people. People are volunteering this information. It's nothing that they're, doing in a sneaky way, but they know a lot about you. They know what pages you like, what ads you interact with, what things you're buying online, at least through Facebook. So it's a really good way to build strong cold traffic audiences. They're typically going to perform a little bit better than just one that you build from different interests and things like that, because it actually has real reliable data to go on. So these are the steps you need to take before getting started. You've got to install your Facebook pixel on your website. Facebook has instructions on doing that if you need to do that. You're going to create your website audiences, okay? It's only going to start from the day that you install that pixel. So you could have had 1 million hits to your site in the past. It's not going to pick those up. That's why you've got to do it day one, even if you don't plan on advertising just yet. Go ahead and let Facebook start building that audience, because you're going to be in a much better position if you do that. Then you should create at least 2 saved audiences, and you want to test those. I encourage a lot more, to be honest. And then you want to create an engagement audience. So this is an audience of people that have engaged with your page in some way in the past, since the beginning of your Facebook page, if you want. This is a comment, a like, a share, someone who has just liked your page overall, someone who's tagged somebody, whatever it is. That person has already shown some interest in you or your business. So that is a really strong audience to use as well. Then you're going to upload those customer lists, those email lists, and you're going to make your custom audiences. And finally, you're going to take your custom audiences and turn them into lookalike audiences. There are a lot of audiences. I know it sounds like a lot, but again, if you are really committed to growing your business online, you have to be willing to put in the work and say, I'm going to market to people the way they want to be marketed to, not the way that I think they should be marketed to. And that's where having a lot of audiences is really going to help you out. So the next step is the right content. It's going to be images that inspire people to remodel or to buy. It's going to be copy that tunes into their why and drives action, and educational resources that help them decide, as well as videos that educate them or entertain them, or demonstrate something. So content is key. You want to promote and post what your audience likes. Again, there's no reason to assume that you know what they're going to like best. I'm going to tell you that I have been consistently surprised over the years at which ads and which posts have performed very well. It's usually not the ones that I think are going to do the best, because your audience is going to tell you. And the more people are responding to something, it's just going to lower your cost. So don't try and fight the tide, so to speak. Don't try and swim upstream and against the current by pushing something that people just aren't openly receptive to. You want to push the things that they're embracing from the very beginning. So cost per engagement is something I really like to pay attention to, especially on Facebook. I have 2 different strategies. It's a Facebook ad strategy and a page post engagement strategy. So it's not necessarily boosting a post. You can take a post from your page and turn it into an ad, but the goal is engagement. It's not to get somebody to your website. It's not to get them to buy. It's to get them to engage with your page. So that's the cold traffic, so to speak. You want them to see a post that's got, 8,000 likes on it and 500 comments on it, and they'll say, wow, who is this company? Wow, this was really helpful. Or, oh my gosh, I love that kitchen or that bathroom. Where can I get something like that? So it's going to just increase your brand awareness, but it's also going to help build those audiences for you. So that engagement audience or that website audience, if you have a link in your post, so that you can better market to them in the future. So Facebook wants to promote the things that people like. They want their platform to be a place that people like to spend time. And they're going to do that by showing more of what people already like. So you will get just a lot more traction if you are pushing those things that people like. There's something called a relevance score that is pretty important in Facebook ads. And that's how relevant is this to the audience that it's being sent to. Ads with low relevance score, they don't get very far, and you're just going to waste a lot of money on them. So just be very in tune with what your audience wants. Test your page content. Page content can seem like a very big waste of time to some, like, oh, I'm getting 2 likes on my post. Why would I do 20 posts a month? Well, you do 20 posts a month so you can see what your audience responds to, and then those are the things that you do more of. Those are the things that you put your money into. So you don't have to necessarily do 20, but if you have someone, or you have the time, or if you have the money to invest in that, having a strong page not only helps that content piece, but it also helps your ads because Facebook will let your ads go farther if you are an active Facebook participant. So these are examples of a few posts that have done really well. 15,000 likes on pictures of a door, 7,500 likes on pictures of 2 kitchens. It's a promotion, or a laundry room, and it's talking about products. So do I think that they're nice? Yes. Would they have been the post that you would have told me that would have done really, really well? Probably not. But if you don't try, then you're never going to know. Some of these have hundreds of comments, over 1,000 shares. You are really getting a lot of reach that way. And so Facebook is actually charging you per impression. It's not charging you per click. So it's actually kind of similar to TV in that way. But the biggest difference is that on TV, someone cannot interact with you. On a post like this, they can share their opinion. They can tag their friends. They can share it on their page. They can tell you that they like it. They can engage with you. And that is something that you can't get anywhere else that is extremely valuable. So these are a few additional pieces of content that have worked really well. So this in the center is a blog, and this blog has been 6 cents per click. And if you've ever done AdWords or anything like that, you will know that that is an insanely low cost per click. I mean, it's crazy. This blog may not get people flocking into your store, but what it can do is get people flocking to your website that allows you to say, hey, this person is interested in a new kitchen in some way. And so what are you going to do? You are going to retarget those people with content about their kitchen remodel and signing up. So it's really about identifying the people, getting them to raise their hand and say, hey, that's what I'm interested in, for as low of a cost as possible, so that you can come up from behind and then send them the offer that's relevant. So I've done a lot of educational videos. This is one on flooring materials, one on backsplash tile, and they've been longer videos that really go in depth into how people should choose. And these videos have been crazy successful. You don't need a lot of production value, but you are able to, again, identify what people are looking for and then give them more of that for a very low cost. The next thing that you need to do is have the right follow-up in place. So very similar to what we just talked about, it's not about hitting someone one time and letting that be the end of it. You have to have a system that is going to continue to market to them. So the first piece of follow-up is retargeting, and that's going to hit interested prospects multiple times, steer them towards the appointment, towards the purchasing decision. The next thing you're going to do is have the right email sequences that are going to build a connection with your brand, educate your consumers, and drive them to buy. And then having that phone follow-up, or that email, or that text message follow-up is going to make all the difference in the world. So you may be sending just mass broadcast emails to everyone on your email list. I'm going to tell you that if that's all you're doing, you are really missing out, because the highest open rates you're ever going to see are in automated sequences that trigger when somebody makes a specific action. So if I download this Windows ebook, I'm going to get a Windows email sequence that's going to give me all the content I would need to know about Windows. The reason those open rates are really high is because that person was interested. So again, you have to think of it, shift your thinking from one to many to one-on-one. This is one-on-one personalized advertising. Yes, the more product categories you sell or promote, the more work you're going to have to put in, because you need to have individualized content for each of those. But it will be so worth it in the end, I promise you. So this is an example of a retargeting system. So the first one, this could be a video ad. Remember, I said video ads are great for cold traffic. So it's going to be your interest, your behaviors, your demographics. So you can actually create audiences based on how long people watch your video, or if they watch it at all. So you say, okay, if they watch 25% of my video, they're at least familiar with me now. They're not a cold audience anymore. So now I'm going to hit them with my second video. My second video is going to be more towards the interest and the decision making. I'm going to help them make that decision. And then you're going to do it one more time. You're going to hit them with another video, the same people who watched that second video. And that is really going to be focused on getting them to sign up for the estimate, sign up for the appointment, or get them to make the sale. This is another example, and it again goes through the customer buying decision. So this is a kitchen remodel budget formula. This is my cold traffic offer, and this is a video. So I'm going to target people who've watched a certain percentage of this video. And then the next one is going to be a testimonial video. So this is from a real customer, and this is still going to have a link to let them sign up, but it's more on the interest and decision level. People love testimonials when they're in that decision phase because they want to know that other people have had a successful or a happy experience with the company before they invest a lot of money. And then the third is strictly about setting the appointment. So again, you've got the awareness, you've got the interest and decision, and then you've got the action. And you want to have something that follows them every step of the way. So the next thing is your email and messenger follow-up. Messenger marketing, I am probably going to do a whole separate webinar on this sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. But it is one of the most successful follow-up platforms that is around today. If you are using Facebook ads, you need to be using Facebook Messenger marketing. So this is basically email marketing through Facebook Messenger. It's very different in a lot of ways in terms of what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, but it's just another way to communicate. So the open rates are huge compared to email. You'll see 95% open rates. You'll see 50% click-through rates. The numbers can be very substantial. So basically, you know, an email list, if it's 5,000 people, you could get the same result with a messenger list of 1,000 people, maybe even more. So it's a very valuable tool to follow up with people based on the actions they take, based on the projects that they're interested in. This is an example of a messenger sequence. So a lot of different messages, and it's got a really high open rate. So this is an 87.5% open rate, and then we've got a 17.7% click-through rate. So crushing email. I still recommend doing both for sure, but anyone who is not doing messenger needs to realize that this is kind of the wave of the future. It's where people are going. There's a lot less competition in a messenger inbox than there is in an email inbox, and people are spending a lot more time on Facebook in a lot of cases than they are on email. You can connect Messenger to your Facebook post or your Facebook ads or even your website. So it doesn't exist only on Facebook. This is going to be a free Windows guide that you can get through Messenger. I'll actually deliver that to someone through Messenger. And now I have a subscriber that I can market to about Windows on, you know, maybe the next 3 months or whatever that buying cycle might be for you. This is also something over to the left. This was, again, one of those posts that you just don't know that it's going to do so well. This has hundreds of comments, almost 500 shares. It's got 7,000 likes. And basically what this did was it drove people into an educational messenger sequence about kitchen remodeling. And I cannot tell you how many appointments came from this single post connected to Messenger. So it's not always about just using one thing. It's about pairing the right things together to make a really big impact. And not a lot of businesses are doing this either. People think it's really, really cool. If you do it, you know, in the wrong way, they might think it's really annoying. But all the experiences I have is that people think it's awesome. And if they want to unsubscribe, they can. There's no reason they can't. You don't want people on your list that don't want to be there anyways. And you're always going to have a percentage of people who leave you. That's just the way it is. But the people who really like what you're doing and who like this educational content, you have the ability to make them a customer for life. I mean, everyone who owns a home is going to have multiple things that needs to be done to it over the years. Then they're going to move and they want to do new things. So you don't want to see this as a one-time sale and see you later. You want to see this as building a long-term relationship for life. So this was a contest that I did, this top line, 99 cents per messenger subscriber. So these people have now identified themselves as someone interested in a kitchen. And now I've got 1,200 people who I'm going to be marketing to about kitchens. And that happened in about 2 weeks. So that was a short period of time. This was an ad that was designed to get an appointment. So these two at the bottom, they were saying, click here to sign up for your appointment. So $5.17 per appointment, $15.99 per appointment. So if I've got anything under $20, I mean, I'm super happy with that, considering that a lot of these projects are anywhere from $5,000 to $60,000 in value. So getting it that low it's insane, to be honest, compared to some of the other costs for different industries that are worth a lot less money. These are extremely high cost, and people like signing up through Messenger. They really do. So definitely would recommend that you add that to your marketing tool belt. So the good thing is it adds a lot of bang for very little buck. You're going to pay not a ton of money to do this every month. You want to get this, it's called a chatbot. You want to get it developed, and you want to keep improving it. But in the grand scheme of things, the cost is very, very low, and it's going to make a major impact in your business. And then you're going to want to use funnels. So some of you may be familiar with funnels and some of you may not be. But funnels are basically a series of landing pages that are designed to drive someone to one end goal. The goal would be to sign up for an appointment with you or to buy something. So when you send someone to your website, which you never want to do on online advertising, or to like the home page of your website, they have so many different options, so many different choices, and people get overwhelmed and they just won't do anything. They'll just leave. You want to send them to a place that is focused only on what you're talking about, and you want to guide them through that decision. So this is an example of a landing page. It's for a lead magnet. So it's a kitchen cabinet buying guide. Somebody's going to give me their email. They'll get an email sequence about kitchen cabinets and hopefully sign up for the appointment. A lot of the funnels that I do are specifically designed for the appointment though. I really like to do a lot of the lead magnets through Messenger now. So secret number one, the results. We got over 520 high value kitchen and bath appointments in 3 months. That has so far had a 26-time return on ad spend. Really high open rates and lots of engagement. A really fun brand that stands out in the crowded online space. This company gets stopped all the time saying, oh my gosh, I love that blog, or I love that video. You guys put out the best content. People really take notice. So this drove a ton of appointments that actually converted to sales. We can see what the average cost per appointment was. We have all of those appointments in a list. We see what the close rates are for the salespeople. So it is a very, very great system that will actually allow you to see the data and make educated decisions on your marketing based on the data. So again, a lot of long-term contributing sales that are not directly short-term. This case study was in a 3-month period. Sales will continue to come in for a long time because of this. So you might be thinking, you don't know how to work for your business. You've tried Facebook ads, you've had no results. It's going to be too expensive. And some people even think that Facebook won't be around much longer. They don't know how they can use it for sales because all people are doing is looking at cat pictures and sharing their baby photos. And hopefully I've shown you that that's not the case. You have probably just been doing it the wrong way, to be perfectly honest with you. So if you want to try something different, try this formula that I've showed you because it will make a major impact. So as you can see, 443 design appointments. This was actually a $3.70 cost per appointment. That's huge. Video views, messages, you can really get a low cost appointment or subscriber or an audience building member when you use these different tools that Facebook has provided. So Facebook ads will work for your business. They'll work to sell your products in store. They will work for your promotions. They will work to sell your services and your estimates. You just have to be sending those ads to the people that want to see them. You don't want to send that to everyone. You're never going to sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, even if you could, if that's supposed to be something that is an accomplishment, why do you want to waste your time? You could be selling ice to people who are dying of thirst. That's where I want to be. I want to sell things to people who are begging for it, not for people who I'm going to have to really make a hard sell. So doing it this way just allows you to reach the people who want to be reached and weed out the rest. The good news is it's an ever-changing cycle. So some people won't be interested today. If you're putting out another video 6 months from now, when they are interested, they'll get in that funnel and they'll get in that ad sequence, and you can get those people too. But if you just try it for a few months and then you stop, you're never going to reach those people because it is very cyclical. So Facebook is a powerful platform that's going to give your audience what they want. There's over 2 billion users on Facebook. Most of them are daily users. So please embrace this platform or get left behind. Quick side note, Instagram is another great one. We're not going to really go in depth, but you manage your Instagram ads from your Facebook ad manager. And it's another place where they have hundreds of millions of users. You just want to be where the people are, and that's where the people are. Secret number 2, this is a fun one. Using education-based marketing to drive sales. How becoming an industry expert can generate multiple 6 figures for you this year. So I hear this all the time. I'm not good at technical. I don't want to do strictly online marketing. I like talking to people in person. The truth is that you can use online marketing in conjunction with face-to-face marketing to build stronger relationships and drive sales. So the better you are at connecting with people in person, the better you will be when you can use this education-based marketing, because you can use it in the field. You can take a blog post and you can give it to your salespeople and they can use that as a tool when they're talking to people. You can take a video and you can actually show your salespeople that video and say, this is what we're sending out to people. So play off of it because this is what they're seeing. So this is a story about educational events. There's a few different ways that you can use education-based marketing, but educational events are one of my favorite things. So I put on an educational event for a kitchen and bath dealer. They wanted to drive more foot traffic and brand awareness and sales. Of course, they wanted kitchen and bath appointments. So we created something called Kitchen and Bath University. I have fallen in love with this concept over the last 4 years because it has been such a moneymaker. It has gotten the best feedback. It's driven so much word of mouth, so much foot traffic, and so many sales. It's ridiculous. So these classes completely filled up. We have gotten 200 people to these events. We have gotten 65 of those people the same day to schedule their appointment, which is huge. And then you still have people within the next week or 2 that'll sign up, and people even a year later. Those people are turning into sales at a much higher rate than any other medium that we've used. And how do you think we get them to the event? We use Facebook ads. So this is, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about that, but it's not just the live events. You can use webinars, but the articles, the video, the educational lead magnets, if you can develop those, you've basically developed a ton of your content for the actual class. So we are going to talk about the actual format of doing that class. But here's a quick example of what blog posts can do to your online traffic. So it's not just something that you can promote on social media. People are finding these blogs on their own. We've done really strong SEO strategies, so search engine optimization, getting people to find these articles without investing money in them. So this blog has had over 60,000 hits. We've barely put any money into it at all. And most of the top pages on the websites that I manage are all blogs. So people want this content. That's what you need to remember. People are hungry for content, especially in the home improvement field. So again, this company was seeing kind of a flat foot traffic trend. They felt the effects of e-commerce. They felt the effects of these big box stores, and their current ads just weren't working. So we developed this killer offline event. Like I said, we've had up to 200 people at these events. Usually it's anywhere from 75 to 200. It really ranges, but they've all been successful. Even at an event with 75 people, I've had 40 people sign up for an appointment. So it doesn't matter how many people you get there. And it does in a way, you want people there, but it matters how strong of a connection you're able to build with them and how strong your education is. You want them to say, wow, this company knows what they're talking about. So from day one, we saw the demand. It was easy for us to fill up these events. And it could be that the ads were really good, which I'd like to think they were, but people were craving this. So we knew this was something we were going to do long term. The best thing about this is education in any form allows you to overcome their objections really seamlessly. They don't even have to ask the question. You just answer it. And you can position your company in a way that shows them why they're the right choice. So it's kind of like Inception. So the first event, it was a raging success. Many of these people scheduled appointments. We've been doing this event for 4 years. We've done other events. They've all been really successful and easily 6 figures per class. So a few tips on how I actually structure this event. So this could actually be an entire webinar on its own. You want to have a workbook that people can fill in as they go around. The most successful format that I've used has been sort of a round robin technique. So I break people into 4 groups and I rotate them through each group, usually about 20, 25 minutes per group. And it'll just cover different aspects of the process, whatever your topic is. We will get everybody pizza for lunch, and that's really the time where we get those appointments. So we'll have areas set up for people that are scheduling appointments. We'll also have sales staff and designers walking around talking to people and getting them to sign up while they're eating. That's definitely been the most successful way that we've done it. We also have a one-day, special on something. So for example, if it was a kitchen event, you could do a free sink base if you buy X amount of cabinets, or a free kitchen faucet, something like that. Just something to say, schedule your appointment today, and then you're going to get some sort of bonus. And it's worked really, really well. So example number 2 is just going to be lead magnets and things that drive people into your ecosystem. So we talked a little bit about this before, something like an ebook or a checklist. A video can be a lead magnet if you make someone give you their email before they watch it. And that is going to be another good way to not only build the education side, but also to get people into that email sequence or that messenger sequence so that you can deliver them that very targeted content. These are a few more really, really successful pieces of education. This on Pinterest has been pinned over 9,000 times and I've never spent $1 on it. This has been pinned over 5,000 times. It's had over 500 shares on Facebook. And this web traffic over here is the result of one website that basically we implemented a blog. The blog drove the majority of the traffic over maybe about 1.5 years. So it's not always an overnight thing. But it's not always about having an immediate result. You can use that piece of content on Facebook. You can use that piece of content with your sales staff. It's not like you put it on your website and you never touch it again. You should try and utilize that content in as many ways as possible so you get the most bang for your buck. And so that everyone can see it. You want your content to be seen by people, so get it out there. These are a few more blog posts so I can show you the actual results. I actually worked with a company the other day who they were about to do a large TV buy. They were doing an event. They wanted to promote it. Of course, I can do the TV buying for them, but when we got to talking about it, Facebook was the best place for them because the impressions alone with their budget, it was going to be more than TV with a substantial amount less in ad dollars. The link clicks that you will be able to get, if you're trying to have anybody sign up for something online, you want them to already be online. So having 11,000 link clicks, 6,000 link clicks, the cost per click is 6 cents, 13 cents, 11 cents, 23 cents. This is just ridiculous. I mean, it shows how much people want content. So give the people what they want. They want to be educated, they want to be inspired, and you're the person who needs to give that to them. So some home improvement retailers might think that they are not a marketer, they're not an educator, they can't plan an event, they can't write all this content, and that they just don't know if they can even spend the time to figure this all out. And in some cases, you might not be, but that doesn't mean that you can't implement this system. So some of you may have people that are in-house doing marketing. Those people can help you with this, but really the return on investment is worth any time or a financial investment that you're going to spend. This is going to bring you sales. And if you care about sales, you understand that you need to invest money to get it. And I can tell you that it actually will work. This is, again, not theory. This is something that's been proven time and time again. And events can seem overwhelming. And I will say there's definitely a decent amount of setup to get your first one going. But it becomes so much easier after that. Once you have the content, once you have the different email sequences that you're going to use, you can use those over and over. This does not need to be a one-time thing. This is something that you can use as many times a year as you can handle to bring people in and drive those sales. Like I said, it's cyclical. Somebody 3 months ago, they weren't in the market for a kitchen or a bath or windows or whatever. And now they are. So they didn't come to your last class. They didn't sign up to your last class, but they're going to sign up for this next one. So you may not see yourself as an educator, but you do know your craft. I hope you do. And that's why you're in this business. You've got the knowledge. You may not have the way with words to put it out there, but someone around you does, or you can find someone who does. You can take that knowledge and you can turn it into these really great pieces of content that your audience is going to just be obsessed with. You also need to leverage the knowledge of others. As business owners, we have to understand that we can't do everything ourselves and that we shouldn't want to. You have specific things in your business that only you can do, or that you are passionate about doing, things that your time is well spent when you're doing those. And marketing may not be one of them, and that's fine, but that's where other people come in. You need to leverage their knowledge, leverage their resources, and allow them to help you get where you need to go. So you can outsource to experts who can simplify this process. It does not have to seem overwhelming. The same way that you would outsource other things in your business, this can be the very same way. So secret number 3, this is the proven system that will help to streamline your marketing, save you time, save you money, save you stress. So if you implement systems that are proven, you don't need this large team. Some people, like I said, you may have somebody who is already in your office doing marketing. You may have 1 or 2 people. Some of you may not have anyone at all. And some of you could be using 5 different freelancers to handle different aspects of your marketing. With any of those options, it could seem impossible for them to accomplish everything that we've discussed so far. And without the right resources, you could be right. I mean, it might be very difficult. If it's not the right person, without the right skills, it can be hard for them. And no matter what, it's going to be time consuming. But again, it is so financially rewarding that you have to make this a priority. You just need a system. You need the right people. You need the right strategy. So the first thing that you are going to have to focus on is trackable campaigns. So you don't want to focus on things that aren't making money, like we talked about in the beginning. That is a waste of your money. You need to see what's working and what's not. You need to cut what's not working, and you need to invest more money in the things that aren't working. There's a lot of bright, shiny objects, so to speak, in marketing, but you don't need to focus on all those things. Some of those things are really successful, but you can't jump around from platform to platform because you think this is the latest and greatest. You need a very set list of things that you need to do, and once you master those, you can move on to something else. Again, you need to use live events that can be consistent money makers, not just a one-hit wonder. You need to learn how to use automation to save hours in your day. That's the biggest challenge for all of us. We do not have enough time. But automated tools and automated processes can increase the amount that you're able to do. And then you need to use delegation, outsourcing, and skill consolidation to have the best marketing system without spending all your time managing it. Time is your most valuable skill here. So trackable campaigns, I will just hammer this in again. Spreading yourself too thin is going to kill your results. You do not need to be on every platform, and you do not need to be doing all of the things. You need to be doing 1 or 2 things and putting all of your efforts into those things. If you didn't know if they would work, I wouldn't recommend that. But again, this has been proven. This is not something that I'm just saying, oh, I think it might do well for you. Not really sure, but you should be focusing on these things. Again, once you master this and you have this running on autopilot, eventually you can look and say, you know what, we're going to add another platform. We're going to add another event or another idea. But until that day comes, don't worry about everything. Like, really focus on what's going to make you money and master those selling systems and just build on it. Again, the biggest reason why online marketing is so important is that you can see what's working. Making sure that your sales and marketing team are sharing crucial information is going to be another challenge, but you have to make sure that it's happening, because if your sales team is not telling your marketing team what's happening to these leads, how many of these leads are being sold, you're still going to be flying blind. You can have 1 million clicks, but a click doesn't always equate to a sale. So you need to know what happens to the sales. If you don't have a CRM program, I'd highly recommend you get that. At the very, very least, have a spreadsheet that everyone has access to with these leads and that it's constantly updated. Repeatable success. Very same concept. You need to find what's working and repeat it so that you're not constantly having to create new things every day. Granted, I will say, you do need to create new things all the time. You can't have the same ads running forever. They will stop working. People will stop responding to them. You want to test content on your page, but you will find winners and you will be able to use those for a decent amount of time. And then you'll at least see what's been working and you can do things that are similar to that in the future. You can create new events to use that same formula to drive success in other areas of your business. And you want to use really focused follow-up on everyone who registers or attends or signs up for an appointment to maximize sales. So I would recommend this be an automated process. You still need to have someone call, but if you could have a phone call, a voicemail, or a text message and an email go out as soon as somebody signs up for anything through you, then you are going to really maximize that lead. And then automation. So there is a website called Zapier, and Zapier is my secret weapon. It is amazing, and if you've never heard of it, you need to look into it. But basically, the purpose of Zapier is to connect the different tools that you use. So this on the right is an example. I'm going to say, if I tag someone in ManyChat, which is messenger marketing for Facebook, I'm going to create a response in a spreadsheet that's going to add someone to my email list, that's going to send someone an email list, send someone an email, and then send somebody else an email. 5 steps happened with one action. I didn't have to do that. So basically, anything that you see yourself doing repeatedly, you can probably automate in Zapier. So it's not just for marketing. You can do financial things. There's so much you can do. And it connects with pretty much all of the major platforms. Then you want to use SMS, text message, and email follow-up as well. You also want to have content, automated content that's going to build connections and drive leads in your sleep. So a soap opera sequence is a type of email sequence that is going to be an audience or a subscriber's first interaction with you through email. And it's 5 different emails. I actually am going to be giving anybody who stays to the end a copy of it for home improvement if they have not already gotten that, as well as a few other things. But this is going to be something that it makes them connect with you right away. So if you can do this, these first 5 emails in the first 5 days after they sign up, they build this connection with you. They get all your best content. They really understand what it is you do and how you can help them. They're going to be so much more inclined to open your emails in the future. And it's been proven it works very, very well. You just need to have these automated email sequences in place that make people feel like you understand them. And then you also want to leverage resources to save time, such as CRMs, ClickFunnels, which is a landing page and funnel builder, a POS system that can integrate into your other services. I mean, I have seen POS systems that make life terrible for marketers. Your POS system is your internal giant database. And if you cannot get that information to the people who need to see it or to the other programs that need to use it, you're missing out on a lot. So I know it's very difficult to switch a POS system, but if you have been seeing that over the years, I'm going to say that a change definitely needs to be made. So do not fall for the lie that you've got to reinvent the wheel. You just have to use these proven formats that I have showed you here today, and you will see so much more success than you've seen in the past. You've got to understand that time is money. And the more time you spend on something that's already been created, the more money you're going to lose. So event formats, social media formats, email formats, content formats, whatever it is, there are proven formats, and you need to work with someone who knows what they are, or you need to take the time to find out what they are and use them for your own business. And then finally, you as the business owner, you cannot do all this yourself. You've got to understand what you need, whether you're doing it or not. Like I said, if you've got some team members that are handling this for you, you have to know what you need before they do. They may have a totally different idea of what would work. And if they're wrong and you don't know that they're wrong, then it's just going to fail. And you're going to say, well, they seem to be really working hard. I mean, I know they're working, but working hard does not always equate to working smart or working in a way that produces results. And that's one of the biggest issues that I see with people who work with either in-house employees or freelancers or even agencies, is that they don't know what they need, so they leave it in someone else's hands that maybe also doesn't know what they need, and it just ends up wasting a lot of money and a lot of time and making people a little salty towards marketing in the future. Delegation is a big deal. If you are trying to delegate back and forth with a lot of different people, you can end up spending all of your time. I mean, as somebody who was a marketing director for a long time, I know exactly what that struggle is like. And you just want someone who understands your business. Although this can be a more complex business to understand than most, but that's not the best use of your time. You need people who already know what to do. You don't need to be training people that you're paying to work. They already need to know. And no matter what the size of your support team is, they need to understand that they need resources, and you need to understand that they need resources. So we cannot all do everything ourselves. Sometimes we need help. Maybe it's education or maybe it's physical help, but don't deprive them of that, I will say, because trying to hold on too tightly to these dollars that really you need to just release in order to make more money is a big reason why a lot of businesses don't do as well as they could. Again, marketing's not an expense, it's an investment. It's an expense only if you have somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And as you've just seen, you now know what someone should be doing for you, because these are the things that are producing results. So some people also think that they can't figure out all this data. I mean, we haven't even really gone into all the data today. But I will tell you that the platforms, they can be figured out. You just need a few key numbers. You need to know your cost per lead, your cost per acquisition, your cost per click. And I did say I like to look at the cost per engagement so that I know when to invest more money. One great number that you can look at across all of your marketing mediums is cost per thousand, or CPM. That's really the only number that you're gonna see in every marketing medium: TV, radio, print, Facebook ads, display ads, whatever it is, you can see a cost per thousand. And where cost per thousand is different, because like I said, you can reach the same amount of people as TV, but people on TV can't engage with you. So there is a difference. You have to make sure you're taking that into account, but it is a great way to kind of level the playing field. And a lot of people say, I don't know how to spend my budget without wasting it, or I don't know how to learn all these new skills. But you can. You just need what I have taught you today, these strategies, automation, and to realize that you don't need to do it all. So you just need to take a deep breath and develop a strategy, put it on paper, make a system, say, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and actually follow through with that. Don't just stick it in a desk drawer somewhere. So are you guys enjoying the training so far? I really hope so. I have put so much into this, and I want nothing more than for you guys to be successful in marketing. So if it's cool with you, I want to talk to you a little bit more about what I do. Hopefully you feel like I have earned that after everything we've talked about today. So I'm going to go ahead and go into it. Hopefully you guys will stick around. We have covered 3 really strong secrets that you can utilize to improve your online marketing and really see some significant results. So if you really want to take things to a higher level, I would love for you guys to learn more about what I do. My business was created to work with businesses just like you. I understand the home improvement business. I understand remodeling, which makes me an ideal partner. And the best thing that I can do is work with people no matter where they are, no matter what level they're at. So I can work with you if you already have an in-house marketing department, or if you have one person handling your marketing, or if you have no one handling your marketing. So I just really want to be someone who can be a resource for you no matter where you are in your marketing journey. So my goal is to help you make more money. I thrive on results and numbers and knowing how many leads I brought in and how much revenue was produced because of that. And I can help you develop a really systemized marketing plan that you can execute. You can start to see results within a matter of months. Some people, it's less than a matter of months. And I can guarantee that you're definitely going to see a lot more results than you've currently had, because I can take a guess that you probably haven't seen that many results. Again, even if you have a staff, that doesn't mean that we can't work together. That is the reason that I based my business in this way, is because I have been that person. I have been someone who was a marketing director, and I had 2 assistants for most of that time. And I still needed help because there's so much to do, especially if you're a retailer. I mean, not only do you have everything in store that needs to be done, your website probably takes a lot of time, and you haven't even scratched the surface on paid advertising yet. So I know what I needed when I was in that position. I know what my assistants had wished that we'd had at times because there was so much to be done. I know what businesses who have no one working on their marketing, what they need. And I just want to be something that anybody feels like they can use to grow their business. So the way that I work is by providing you exactly what you need and only what you need. We can actually handle anything marketing related, and we just turn it into a package for you. So an expert Facebook marketer, an expert pay-per-click marketer, an SEO specialist, a content creator, a content marketer, a social media manager to post on your pages, answer your messages and respond to your comments. You'll have a graphic designer that could be for your in-store signage or for your online stuff. You'll have a web designer, someone to deal with all your messenger marketing, an email marketer, and even a media buyer for TV, radio, or anything else that you need. I know that not everyone needs all of these things, which is why I don't just offer all of this in one package and that's it. My goal is really to work with people wherever they are and with whatever they needed. I hope that you guys have seen through this training that what I've been doing and what my team has been doing, it really works. It has generated millions in sales, 6-figure live events. I have a ton of experience in your industry. And to be honest, that is probably one of the most relevant things that I offer, because I know when I was the marketing director, it felt like such a challenge to outsource anything, because at the end of the day, I felt like by the time I explained this to them, I could have done it myself. You know, they're not going to understand the products or the materials or the process or anything about the styles and remodeling and what I'm trying to convey. It just made more sense for me to do it myself and for my team to do it ourselves. But at the end of the day, we were spread so thin, even with several people working on this full time, that we couldn't even do some of the great things that we wanted to do that would have brought in more money. So this is for home improvement retailers who want to drive more sales online and offline. This is for business owners who know they don't have the time to do this themselves. It's for business owners who are spending way too much time managing the marketing initiatives. The best thing about what we can provide is that you don't have to manage us. You can if you want to, by all means, but I've been doing this for so long that we create a plan together and we just execute on it. Of course, we're going to send things to you for you to check, but you do not have to tell us what needs to be done. We already know what needs to be done, and then we're just going to get it done. So it frees up your time so that you can do other things. That's been one of the main things that I hear clients say is, you know, it's shocking that I don't have to communicate with you that much unless I want to. And hopefully they all want to, because I like to think of my clients as friends, but they are so used to having to very heavily manage their employees, and you don't need to do that with everyone. And it's sad if you do have to do that with everyone, but that's something that we try and alleviate because it is a big deal. So this could be for someone who's a marketing manager and they need a partner that has a broad range of services that can deliver whatever they need at a really great price point, quality services, and they only have to deal with one point of contact. So again, they're not having to deal with 4 or 5 different freelancers. It's also for businesses who have good sales, but maybe not enough year-over-year increases, or for business owners who just want great results at a really fair price. The number one reason why people do not get started is because they're scared to invest this money into digital. They're not sure if they're going to see a return, and I totally understand that. It can be scary. I mean, I own a business myself, and this is your money. Even if you're the marketing director, I mean, even when I felt like it was my money. I wanted to protect this money and only invest it in the ways that were best for the business owner. But not investing in digital marketing is a mistake, and that's all I can say. I just want you to feel confident that what you do is actually going to work and that you're not scared to make this leap, because if you don't have a growth mindset and go all in, then you will never grow at the rate that you need to. So this is the typical value of what something like this would cost. It's not what we cost, but even just a few of these services. Expert in every aspect of marketing, web designer, developer, webmaster, graphic designer, video creator, expert copywriter, and media buyer, that can be easily $10,000. And I know most businesses do not have that to invest in those things. But you don't even only get those. You're also going to have someone to coordinate these events, develop any of your event materials. We'll even train your staff through video on the best way to execute these events. We can help with your sales staff, telling them what they need to do to coordinate better with marketing. We'll manage all these projects for you. Again, anything that's going on, you don't have to deal with on a daily basis. And then we can also help whoever you do have in your marketing department right now. If you have someone, we can help them elevate their skills as well, because they're going to be working very closely with us, and we want to make sure that we can help them grow. I've personally trained so many marketers in my life, and it's actually a really big passion of mine to see someone who maybe has 1 or 2 of the skills that they need to be successful in this field and show them what else they can do to really make a difference in their life and their career and for the businesses that they work for. So these specialties, they're going to allow you to create really high impact events like we talked about. You're going to be able to get your staff on board with how to execute these events. You're going to get the sales and the lead follow-up training that your sales team needs to actually convert these customers. And you're going to get the guidance and direction for your current marketing team so you can improve whatever else you have going on. You want to make sure that no matter what you're doing, it's working to the best of its abilities. So all of these specialties included, it eliminates the guesswork. It eliminates the wasted money you'd spend testing or time investing in the wrong things. It eliminates hiring the wrong people and then having to delegate them. I mean, honestly, bad hires are a terrible drain on resources. It is difficult to manage them. It's difficult to get rid of them, even if they're not doing a good job. And it becomes a major strain financially, time-wise, just on everything. So having someone that is not a full-time employee can actually be a blessing as long as they're doing what they need to do. This is going to get rid of inconsistent lead generation techniques and leads falling through the cracks. You won't have to use these lead websites that overcharge and underdeliver, or the confusion of trying to piece together this digital strategy on your own. So my business was designed to solve this problem. I didn't always know how to market correctly for a home improvement business that actually produced these real tangible results. So I had to create the system for myself. No one taught me how to do this. I did seek out tons of information to improve my skills over the years. But this was something that I created solely by trial and error because I had to. There was no one saying, let me teach you how to be the best marketer for home improvement retail businesses and kitchen and bath businesses. I don't know of anyone like that. And it would have been nice if I had someone like myself that could either help pick up that slack when I was doing everything myself, or to show me the right way to do it. So everything we're doing, it's a result of all my efforts over the last few years. And it's just going to allow us to work faster and more efficiently, teach your team more efficiently, so we get better results and we get them quicker than you would ever be used to. Ultimately, this is going to save you time and it's going to save you money. Advertising is not always cheap. And if you waste it, there is no worse feeling. Even more than that, you are wasting your time, which could be used to generate far more money than just the money that you invested. I mean, and to be honest, people have this fear about spending money, but really it's just a tool for exchange. There's no actual value in money. You can't eat it. You can't, use it to keep you warm unless you burn it, I suppose. But you can only trade it for something that you find more valuable. And anybody who purchases anything, that's what they're doing. That's what your customers are doing. They say, what you give me is more valuable than holding on to this money. I'm confident I'm going to get more out of it than what it costs me. I mean, I know that's what I do when I buy something. And the question is, what would you exchange to see the results that I've shown you today? Would you be willing to invest something to really grow your business? And you're not going to know until you try, but I can promise you that not investing this money is not going to help it multiply. You might be thinking that you're not even sure what you need. You don't know anything about digital. How are you going to tell someone what to do next? And again, that's not a problem. We create a plan for you. We execute on it with as much or as little feedback from you as you prefer. The best clients for me are the ones who do trust me and say, I don't know everything about this. I want to work with you to create something that I'm really happy with, but take it in your hands and do something that's going to make me money. That's all I care about at the end of the day. So here's a quick recap of some of the specialties that you get. You get literally an expert in every marketing field. If there is something that we didn't talk about, it's something we can provide. You just have to let me know about it. You're going to get a graphic designer, a video creator, a copywriter, a media buyer. You could get the event coordinator, sales trainer, project manager, and someone to help your in-house marketing staff. So that would be a $12,000 value. Again, not what we charge, but it's an insane amount of value that is provided, especially when you consider you're dealing with one, maybe two at the very most people, and you're not having to spend your time managing any of it. On top of that, you're also going to get my free course. Okay, so this course is $1,995. And this is called Remodel Your Marketing Business Bootcamp. So this is normally what people will purchase if they are looking to learn how to do this all themselves, which is great. And I highly recommend it at a certain level of business, because there is a time when you may have to do everything yourself. If you're just getting started, you can afford to make this investment, but you can't necessarily afford a regular marketing budget and consistent advertising. So this is what I provide for those people, but this is going to be something I'm going to give to you for free. So you could use it, or someone in-house that you have already could use it, so that they can continue to improve those skills again, and they can be an even better employee for you. So this Remodel Your Marketing Business Bootcamp is literally a step-by-step of everything that I do to create successful advertising systems for home improvement businesses. And if I had something like this, I would not have had to go through all the guesswork. But luckily, you don't have to. You're going to have the support, so that even if you're not doing all the work yourself, you at least will feel like you have a really strong understanding of what's being done. You'll never again feel like you're having the wool pulled over your eyes by someone who's trying to sell you, a media buy. Because to be honest, again, I've dealt with it. I've dealt with every type of media buyer you can ever imagine. And so often I felt like, this person does not care about me. This person is only trying to get my money, and they don't care if I get results. And luckily for them, it was very hard to prove results, besides tracking your foot traffic or something like that. And even still, there's so many other factors that can go into that. But I want to be someone who is on your side. My goal is to get you more results for less money. I want to get you something great without you having to invest all your time in it. I want to be someone who you feel like you can call on the phone and say, hey, I have this question. Somebody approached me with this media opportunity, and here's the details. And do you think it's a good idea? And I'll be able to evaluate it and tell you yes or no and why I think that. And sometimes that's one of the most valuable resources you can have. Again, if one of your team members or marketing managers wants to be more effective, this is all the training that they would need. And this valuable marketing knowledge is something you can use for a lifetime. Even if you decide you don't want to work together anymore, I'm not taking it back from you. You can keep this and become a better business owner who knows more about marketing, or become a better marketer yourself. Whatever you want to do with it, you're going to have the ability to do that. We're also going to do a free strategy roadmap development. So this is normally the first part of the process. Sometimes people will come to me just for this piece. We're going to throw it in completely free. We will develop a very detailed strategy roadmap that's going to show you what needs to be done, what phases it can be done in, and what you can expect from each phase of the process. So it really allows you to kind of see the beginning to the end in a lot of ways and feel like, again, you're not flying by the seat of your pants. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know why it's going to happen, and you know what the results you can expect will be. So this is, like I said, one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, because if you don't know where you're going, then you definitely don't know how to get there. If this wasn't already enough value for you, I'm going to waive our initial setup fee. So normally the setup is pretty intensive if you're dealing with a new customer. Setting up all their funnels, getting their website prepared, setting up all their Facebook ads and their Facebook ad account, and if they have AdWords, all of this stuff is pretty time intensive, and that's not even including what you're actually doing to run the ads. But what I want is someone who wants to be a partner. I don't want someone who's just here to get it set up and then they're going to run away and find someone on Craigslist to do it for them for, $10. I want to provide value to you. I want to be someone who will help you grow your business long term. That's the best way for me to do business, is to have great partnerships. I'm able to do all these things at a good price because I learn everything there is to know about your business. I don't have to ask you every little question that comes up because I know. I have learned what I need to do any piece of your marketing effectively. That doesn't work for me if I'm constantly working with new clients. I want people who want to see this through to the end and want to grow a long-term sustainable business. So again, that's typically $3,000 for the setup cost. Again, even if you decide not to work with us anymore, we're not repossessing these assets. You're still going to have them. So that's a value in and of itself. And on top of it all, I'm going to give you a bonus video that I created to help organizations implement change. So if you don't currently have a very systemized marketing process, some of this could seem like a jolt to people in your company. And sometimes it's not a big deal and sometimes it is. It really depends on how open your organization is to change, how much change you've gone through in the past. And either way, this is a great video training that will show you how to get everyone on board. And this can be used for so much more than marketing. It can be used for really any change that you want to implement in your business. So that's a great value, a really great deal, and that's something else that I'm going to be able to provide for you. It's really a step-by-step system, and it's going to have a checklist that goes with it. And I would encourage you to use it whether you do anything new in marketing or not. You need to get your team on board with how to embrace new changes that are going on in the workplace. So this is everything that you get when you work with us. You're going to get experts in every marketing field like Facebook ads or AdWords, someone to handle every aspect of your website, graphic designer, video creator, copywriter, media buyer. I mean, the list goes on. You're going to get the Remodel Your Marketing Business Bootcamp. You're going to get the strategy roadmap developed. You're going to get your setup fee waived. And you're going to get a bonus training on how you can create lasting change in your organization. So that would typically be close to $20,000. So I'm not going to charge you $20,000. I'm not going to charge you anywhere close to that. But if I did, and all it did was generate leads on demand and build a long-term effective marketing system that created real results for you, would it be worth $20,000? I mean, $20,000 can be one client. And I know that's not your profit, it's just your sales, but you would get so much more than one client from this. You know, if all it did was increase short-term and long-term sales, would it be worth it? If it helped you grow year after year through additional referrals and brand loyalty, would it be worth it? If it could simply grow your online presence, grow your email list that you can market to for years to come, and build your credibility, would it be worth it to you? So I had two choices when I was trying to decide how to price my services. I could either go as cheap as possible and try and get as many clients as possible, which, as I already mentioned, it's not the best way for me to go. There's no incentive for me to add value to you, for me to be this resource for you that you can call at any time of the day. And I had no incentive to provide additional services. The second choice, it could require a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote so many more resources to help you succeed. And like I said, I don't have one flat fee that I work with. I try and customize it to fit exactly what you need. But if you had a complete marketing transformation, what would it be worth to you? $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, tens of millions? I mean, that's all going to depend on the size of your business. But ultimately, you can reach those numbers quickly if you're getting more high value clients. I mean, that's the long and short of it. You need those clients to reach those numbers. And how much would you pay to get that? So as I mentioned, our comprehensive marketing packages are designed for businesses of any size and businesses with any need. So I want clients that are ready to see a big change in the way they generate leads and the way they market their business. I also want someone who sees the value in what we provide. If somebody doesn't believe in marketing, I don't want to convince them that marketing is the way to go, because I shouldn't have to. If you don't see that, then you're just not a good fit for me. But I'm giving you these discounts today because I can see that you do care about marketing. I mean, you've been with me for an hour and a half now. Sorry about that. I went a little longer, but as you can see, there's so much content here. You clearly care about marketing your business, and I want to work with people who are committed to growing. It really is just all about taking imperfect action. If you don't take action, you're never going to move forward. We will help you, but the question is, do you want to be helped? That's what you need to ask yourself. So for those of you here today, you're not going to pay $19,295, and you're not even going to pay a fraction of that. But what I can do is when you select a package with us, you can save an additional 10% on that. So I've already piled on the value, but now I'm even giving you an additional savings. So again, I can't give you an exact price because the prices are based around what you need. But they start off very affordably. And depending how large your company is, or depending on how much you need, it really varies. But I want to talk to you about what you need. I want to see if we can work together to really create lasting change in your business. So what I'd love for you to do is apply to work with us. Simply book a time on my calendar. We can talk for 30 minutes. You can let me know what your challenges are. I can tell you if I think I can help you. If I don't think I can, I'm not gonna pretend that I can, because that's not good for me. If I work with something and I know that I'm not going to be able to get them results, I'm not going to have them as a customer. I've already waived your setup fee. I've already given you a discount. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't work out for me to work with someone who isn't going to be a good fit for what we do. So that really is the goal, to see if this is something that works out for both of us. So you have two choices. You could do nothing, and you could keep struggling with your marketing or not growing at the fast rate that you want to. And then your second option is to take action with this small investment, especially compared to what you're going to get in value and the return that I can guarantee you will see. And you can start taking control of your own destiny. You can stop living on referrals saying, oh, well, I hope I get another couple of referrals this week or this month to grow my business. That's not sustainable. You need to take control of your own destiny. You need to become a hunter of the right prospects, but you'll also have people hunting you. And that's the great thing about what we do is you're going to make yourself so attractive that people are going to seek you out. You don't have to constantly be trying to convince them of your value. So with that, we're going to help you drive greater sales and greater revenue. And the real question is it worth gambling 30 minutes of your time to speak to me about this? If we only do half of what I've claimed today, it's easily going to pay for itself. You'll start to see real results very quickly. Again, this is everything that you're going to get. A $19,295 value, typically. And you're going to have less than 60% of that, typically much, much less. Like I said, it's hard to put a dollar value on it, but I can guarantee you that you are getting the best value in the business for what we are providing for you. I do not want to price gouge anyone. I want to charge them a fair price for the value that's exchanged. They see a value, I see a value, and that works out great for everyone. Again, we save you time. You don't have to constantly delegate to all these freelancers or try and micromanage these projects to see one small thing get done and feel like nothing's really changed. We're going to save you stress because guess what? You're actually going to know that business is coming in, leads are coming in. We save you money because you are not hiring the wrong people. You are not throwing away your money on something that doesn't work or giving your money to somebody who is only in it for the commission. We make you money. That is our goal. Our goal is simply to make you so much more money than you would ever pay us that it's literally a drop in the bucket. Time is money. Your time is so valuable. And money replenishes, but time does not. And sometimes we have to think about that. What is worth more, my time or my money? Is it practical for me to try and do this all myself or for me to try and micromanage 2, 3 employees, 5 freelancers, whatever it may be? Is that the best use of my time? This system is going to work for you. So I can tell you that money is going to come back to you tenfold, but being too scared to invest in your business will never give you the edge that you need to squeeze out your competition. So I want to ask you, are you ready to remodel your marketing? That's what we do for businesses. We like to take them from a fixer-upper and sometimes a house that's already looking pretty good, but we turn it into something so much more than that. Your competitors are doing this, or they're getting ready to do this because they know what you now know, that this is important, that this is valuable. Competition isn't going down, it's going up, and you need to find a way to make yourself stand out in this business. So please go ahead, open a browser, type in the link below, book a time on my calendar, and let's talk. There is no harm in doing it. There's no cost. There's no obligation. Just want to have a chat and see if we might be able to work together. If you don't have an in-house staff, again, that is no problem. I can work with people with multiple employees. I can work with people with no employees. I could even work with somebody who has an agency handling certain things already. Maybe you have a web design agency that's handling your website. Guess what? We don't have to handle your website. We can handle whatever you need from us, and we're happy to work with the people who are already working with you if you're happy with their services. If you don't have enough money, I guess the question is you're either not investing in marketing, which is a mistake, or you're investing in areas that are not going to get you a great return, in which case it's not that you don't have enough money, it's that you're putting your money in the wrong places. So what I would say is evaluate where you're spending your money. If you simply don't have enough money to advertise, then it's probably not a good fit. I work with businesses who advertise, and that's how it is. I can do things organically. I definitely can. But if you want to see real improvement, if you want to see massive growth, you have to be spending advertising dollars. If you have no marketing experience, that's not a big deal. Even if you never learned anything about marketing, I'm happy to educate you. I'm happy to explain what we're doing as we go. But luckily, if you book your call today, will get the Remodel Your Marketing Business Bootcamp. And that's going to teach you everything that you need to feel like, hey, I have a real firm grasp on this. I'm doing what's best for my business, and I'm confident of that. I'm not, flying blind. I can make educated decisions. And if you've had bad experiences in the past, I can tell you you're not alone. So many businesses have told me that. And it kind of stinks because it's hard to overcome these bad past experiences. But what I can do is show you the results that I've had. And that's the best way to overcome that, because if you've had bad experiences, then you haven't seen results. And if you see the results I've been able to produce, then it's clear that's not the case here. So I would just say that you need to take a long, hard look at who was doing your marketing, who was doing the advertising. Maybe it was you and you're not a marketer. I mean, that's not what you set out in life to be. And that's fine. That's totally fine. We all have our genius zone. We all have our star power, and that's what we need to focus on. When we really shine the most is when we work with people who complement what we do, and we can grow together in our own zones of genius. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I really thank you so much for hanging with me till the end. You're going to get some great freebies in your inbox for doing so. Whether you decide to take the step and work with me or not, it's been a pleasure. I am always here to help you. So if you have any additional marketing questions, please send them my way, and I'll get them answered for you. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye.